now. But the top of that list is Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, and Amari Cooper. Dak and Amari are at camp, and they don't seem too worried about their contracts. But Zeke is hanging out in Cabo right about now. Wonder what he's up to. Yesterday, Jerry Jones said, quote, "When have I not been able to get a deal done?" We're joined now by Rob Parker. So, Rob, how much trouble is Jerry in with all of these contracts?
He's in a little trouble from the standpoint that I think I'm surprised that Jerry is not just going to take care of Ezekiel Elliott from the standpoint, this is the same guy that he went to bat for with the commissioner. Remember, even tried a coup to get Goodell out. He was so outraged about the suspension. So you have one of those situations. You're Jerry Jones trying to win a championship, which you haven't been able to do since when? Jimmy Johnson, Skip, right? He parted ways with Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
Shannon, here it is. Your opportunity's there. Your window's open. Your championship biological clock is ticking, Jerry. What are you doing? And this is one of those situations where, yeah, he wasn't expecting this. You didn't expect Dak Prescott, Skip, in the fourth round to wind up being your franchise quarterback. So you made a trade. Amari Cooper came and was big time for you. And you know what? When you gave away a first-round pick, you expected you're going to have to pay some money for the guy.
Yep.
And now you have the best running back in the league. So you got to figure it all out. But to sit around and wait and play this game when you know Ezekiel Elliott is going to be the reason why you have a chance to win a Super Bowl or not. And I mean the number one reason. I get all the other pieces parts. He needs to get this done and stop playing around. Here's my problem. You wait, play that Emmitt Smith game, Skip. You were there, right? The first two games. You got an easy schedule. Giants, Washington, Miami. God forbid you go in not fully loaded, lose one or two of those games, and then you know what? It might cost you a bye. You might win the wild card rather than the division. You should go in this year fully loaded, expected. And I don't want to see Ezekiel Elliott in week 4, Skip, trying to get back into shape, playing shape. If I'm Jerry Jones, get it done. Pay the man. Just pay him.
Are you rooting for the Cowboys?
No, I'm not rooting for the Cowboys, but I'm rooting for Ezekiel Elliott to get paid because he's done nothing but produce since he's been here. And don't give me the off-the-field stuff. The Cowboys lead the league, other than maybe the Bengals and felons on their team. And you know this, Skip. Greg Hardy, he's gone out. You're not putting together a boys' choir. He's done it before. So you can't use that against Ezekiel.
Better way to put it.
Skip, the thing is, I think the three guys, they have the leverage because they've outperformed their contracts. And the question is, Jerry, if all three guys had underperformed their contracts, would you have taken this long to cut them as you are taking this long to reward them for outperforming their contract? Absolutely not. You see, the thing is, Skip, you keep saying this is a great problem to have, and it would be if Zeke wasn't up, if Zeke had 3 years left, if Amari had 2 years left, if Dak had 3 years left. Yeah, that's a great problem to have coming down the road. It just so happens everything reached a crescendo basically at the exact same time. You built your team around your ability to run the football and play action off of that. That's why you took 3 linemen in the first round, and they turned out to be all pros. You compensated them. Ezekiel Elliott has led the league in rushing 2 of the 3 years, but he's led the league in yards per game since he's been in the league. And then you have Dak Prescott, a 4th-round pick that you thought was just going to hold a clipboard, sit behind Tony Romo. Tony Romo gets hurt, and yada, yada, yada. Next thing we know, Dak has played his way into $30+ million a year, probably $100 million guaranteed. Skip, you're asking for trouble by doing it this way. You're leaving a sour taste in guys' mouth because you got to pay Amari Cooper because you gave up a first-round pick. If you don't sign him, you basically forfeited your first-round pick of 2019. That's why and you knew this. You knew Amari was going into his contract, his option year on the contract. You knew Dak was in the last year, and you waited. You let Russell Wilson set another market. You set Aaron Rodgers, and then you let the guy walk it to him. get 128, 38 million with 108 million guaranteed. Skip, that's your market. You're in trouble. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Actually, I don't. But you better get it done or else.
So, Rob Parker, as you notice right now, my man Shannon Sharp is in all his glory. He is so happy because he's on his way to Canton, Ohio. He's going to rub gold jacket elbows with all the other Hall of Famers. And you know what the topic du jour will be? How about them Cowboys? They're in big trouble now because Jerry can't pay all three of them, and Jerry's effing it up. And then Jerry's, right? That's all. That'll be the topic on everybody's lips because everybody wants to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Can't stop talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Sharp, it is only August the 2nd. Right?
Yep.
I should say happy birthday, Ernestine, tomorrow, August 3rd.
Tomorrow, the 3rd.
Happy birthday, Tom Brady, because Ernestine, Tom Brady, they got that in common, greatness, right?
Tom Brady. Ernestine don't want you. First of all, Skip, Ernestine wants her own happy birthday. She don't want to be combined with no Tom Brady. Stop that.
So I remind you, it's only August 2nd, and the season opener isn't until September the 8th? Huh. That's a long way away, right? What do you always tell me? He who laughs last laughs best. I will have the last 3 last laughs before September 8th because, as Jerry said yesterday, when have I not got one of these done? He always gets them done. When it comes to money, Jerry is genius. When it comes to salary cap, he invents loopholes. He creates new ways to get creative with the cap. And you'll sit back and say, how did he do that? Because Jerry has genius when it comes to money. Maybe not football decisions.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
Okay, I'm not saying it. But when it comes to making money, spending money, genius. He has revolutionized the way he makes money within the confines of the National Football League. Am I right, Mr. Sharp? He will figure this out. Again, Zeke went the wrong way. I told you this from the start because I know Jerry. Zeke should have showed up the first day in camp and buddied up to Jerry, and he would have gotten his deal much quicker and much better and much more easily if he had gone the easy way, the sweet way. I love you, Jerry, and Jerry'd love him back and give him his deal. Instead, Jerry's going to fight fire with fire. Zeke wants to play hardball. He wants to miss camp and go to Cabo. That's hardball for Jerry.
But, Skip, don't you think now, I think the running backs in this league, the CBA doesn't work for them. They have a shorter shelf life, and they're being, right, Shannon, they're being controlled through their first 5 years, and then after 5 years, teams don't want to pay these guys and say that they're worn out.
Whose fault
I'm
is
just
that?
saying,
Is it Jerry's fault?
No, it's a union. I've said this to Shannon many times. It's like the worst union deal I've ever seen. But for running backs, we saw Le'Veon do it, and now Melvin Gordon is doing the same thing So for running backs, I understand what he's doing.
Le'Veon just left all that money. $12 million on the table?
But he had 400 touches. He's worried he's going to get hurt, and then he doesn't get a deal at all.
Okay, but to your first point, remember, Jerry did go the distance for Zeke. He fought it. He put his reputation on the line for Ezekiel Elliott. And there's a quote from yesterday. He said, I felt strongly that Zeke had the high ground in the accusations against him. So he's done it every incident. He has fought for and protected and defended Ezekiel Elliott. And how did Zeke respond to that? By missing camp and going to Cabo. Jerry took that personally, so this has become a little bit personal.
But, Skip, we say it all the time. This is business. This is money. Right? So I get it. Jerry trying to, Shannon, take up for him. But now this is money. I need to get paid.
But here's the thing. Robin, everybody knows. Jerry thought he had a Super Bowl contending team. That's why he was fighting for Ezekiel Elliott. Guilty or not, whether he believed it, yes or no. At the end of the day, he knows he has a much greater chance if Ezekiel Elliott is on the field running the football. Now, like you said, Skip, he went to bat for him. He put his reputation on the line. He tried to order a coup against the commissioner.
He did.
Tried to oust the commissioner. Tried to fight. Well, the commissioner making too much money. Now, Zeke wants some money. Oh, man. saying, well, you don't need to pay running backs. The league has already said they're No. You don't get to have it both ways, Jerry. You don't get to fight for me in one instance because you want me on the field, and then when I take myself off the field, says, no, we can go ahead. We can win without him. We don't really need him like that.
Okay. All I got to say about Jerry Jones is Zeke has picked a battle he's going to lose, because if you fight for money with Jerry Jones, he's been doing, his quote yesterday was, I've done this a lot more than these players have, so I have more patience. He will wait this out.
Did Emmett lose?
Did he lose in the contract? I thought he took far less than I thought he was going to get.
Okay. I'm asking you, you're
I think
closer to it.
It was about 50-50 about, let's end this
But
thing.
Jerry came running back when they were 0-2 to start the year.
Well, it expedited things, I would say.
Okay.
And obviously, does Jerry need Zeke? Sure, he needs Zeke.
Yeah.
Will he get it done? Bottom line, yes. By September 8th, it will be done.
Right.
Yes. You need to know, because if not, you're in trouble.
You're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell
Well,
all those Hall of Famers I said hi.
The first person I'm going to find is Michael Irvin.
Okay,
He's the
good.
first guy I'm going to find and tell him they're not going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You crazy. You Chris Sharp. You crazy. We going. This
I know
idea.
Shannon's going to have a lot of stories for us when he gets back next weekend. We are moving on to David Griffin. Why'd he throw LeBron under the bus yesterday? This is getting interesting. We'll tell you next.
None of your foolishness, Rob.